But the first thing I want to talk about with you actually was the Chicago and Buffalo trade with Byram and the fourth overall pick. I feel like that is the most controversial trade right now
Yeah.
because a lot of people think that Chicago overpaid for Byram. In fact, I don't think people think it. It's not like the objective consensus truth. It's not really up for debate.
Yeah.
I wanted to not so much talk about the pick. I mean, sorry, the trade. I mean, well, a little bit, but I want to talk about the Blackhawks and like contrasting it with the San Jose trade, right? And what San Jose did. Like you just see two young teams with San Jose and Chicago that are just run
Completely
just
different.
completely differently, and they both have a star, like superstar in the making, basically.
Yep.
I would obviously like lean Celebrity being the better player, but they're both fucking like like potentially generational talents. I mean,
Yeah, they're both
so
franchise players. They're both like gonna be. That's your guy.
yeah, and we talked about this like, I mean, I've been banging this drum for such a long time. Patience,
Yeah.
like the amount of fucking I don't know. This maybe comes from ownership and stuff and etc. I know that Chicago's had Bedard now for 3 years and they've been terrible, but you can't just fucking decide that like because it's not working yet that you're just gonna start losing your goddamn mind and making stupid trades. Like this is not gonna help you win in the long term.
Yeah, my question
Right?
for this trade is just why? Like, what does this really do for you?
Will help
Like,
you get better now.
yeah.
Right? This is exactly what it comes down to. And so you look at San Jose, right? They make this trade. They traded. I mean, the main part of that deal was they trade the ninth overall pick, right? Sorry, Ottawa trades the ninth overall pick to them, and they get Eklund in return to Ottawa, right?
Yeah.
So that trade, and they also got, I think they got another prospect from Ottawa and a third round pick. So like they got some, you know, point being is they moved off a position of strength with Eklund because they knew that they could draft
Misa.
like, Misa.
Sorry, not Misa. They already have Misa. Sorry,
Stenberg, yeah.
Yeah.
So they knew they could draft Stenberg. They know that they believe, and I agree with them. This is probably what they're thinking: is that Stenberg's an upgrade over Eklund, right? Yeah. So they can just upgrade there, and then they can get that ninth overall pick and get one of those D-men later in the draft. Because most people feel this way. From what I've heard, a lot of NHL teams feel the same. Is that there's quite a large tier of defensemen, and yeah, like some of them are maybe a little better than the other ones, but like generally speaking, you can pick anyone in that tier, and you feel like you're getting a really solid defensive prospect. And there's a very good chance that one of those guys is going to be there at 9. So now they can, instead of reaching on Chase Reed at 2, they can take Stenberg. They won't get Chase Reed at 9, obviously, but they're going to be able to get somebody. Maybe they get Kane Verhoff. I mean, I doubt it, but maybe he drops all that way. Or maybe they get that kid from Latvia. Or there's also that Swedish defenseman. There's a bunch of different guys they could get there, and they could fill both needs and both roles. And they're not trading away everything to win now. Even though they were close last year and they're going in the right direction, they're getting a superstar winger of the future and then potentially another good defenseman because they have no defense, right? And they use their power to get, younger and better, honestly.
Yeah, that's honestly the ultimate test.
And then we have Chicago, who, like, their GM is terrible. Let's just be blunt. Like, he's done nothing but just make terrible moves. Like, it's been awful. But you trade the 4th overall pick, which has extreme value, for Bo Byram, who's never been a top pairing defenseman in his NHL career yet. Now, it doesn't mean he can't be at some point. And he also wants a massive bag.
Yeah.
Right? So, once again, does this make you a better team now? It does, yeah. Are you making the playoffs next year because you made this trade? No. Does Bo Byram all of a sudden make you, like, this fucking powerhouse of a team? No. So, like, what's the fucking rush? Why are you making this trade? It's so... Like, it makes me almost think that maybe, like, Bedard is, like, like, you guys need to fucking start making moves now or I'm out of here. Like, this is ridiculous, right? Like, I don't understand this is, like, insane. And this is why, like, if you're any GM in the league right now, you got to be calling Chicago, being like, hey, how can we help you make your team better? Like, I would be all over that guy right now.
That's why I was hoping if anyone's going to trade for Knies, it would be Chicago because...
Yeah, because we were hearing some blasphemous things, like, crazy, crazy things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, looking at that trade, like I said, it obviously makes Chicago better now, but it's just terrible value. And then for the Sabres, I mean, like, what a move. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh, like, you're taking a guy that is a good defenseman that you got for, oh my god, what did they get him for? That was a forward stop to Colorado. I can't remember the guy's name now.
Yeah,
decent player, but
it was a good trade.
So you get him. He's not going to be able to play in your top defenseman because you have Deline, you have power, right? So, and he wants to get paid. So you're like, well, this isn't going to work out anyways, and you get the 4th overall pick back in return. So, like, you have options now, too. This is what the 4th overall pick does. This is why it's so valuable, which Chicago fucking missed. you can now, if you want to, you're probably going to be able to draft. Well, we'll see. Maybe Chase Reed. Depends on what Vancouver does. I think more than lucky we're going to see McKenna, then Stenberg now because they made that trade, right, with Ottawa.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if that's not the one.
And then probably Malhotra, but maybe it's Chase. But even if they don't, they're going to be able to pick, there's going to be plenty of good players for them to choose from there, right?
Yeah.
So they're in a spot now where they've just, and like once again, I wouldn't be surprised if they move this pick to help them win now because as good of a trade this is for Buffalo, they've gotten worse. They just lost Tuck and they've lost Byram, right? So you need to try and add back some of that. But what a trade for Buffalo. Like A plus for fucking Buffalo. Like that's amazing that you could get a 4th overall pick for Bo Byram. Like congratulations. Oh, it was Casey Middlestat. That's what the trade was for.
Yeah.
So they basically traded Casey Middlestat for a 4th overall pick.
Yeah. Well, and also having Byram to help them on their fucking like playoff push this year too.
Yeah.